Hey Tina, we're going to thread the serger now. Okay, so pretend that it has come to you with the thread on. You're going to cut the thread off right here. You're going to extend. This is probably going to be that slower position for shipping. So you're going to cut the thread. You're going to extend this pole all the way up. It's right there. And this is what it's going to look like at this point. So we're going to open the machine, and to do that, you're going to take off the thread catcher, the scrap catcher. You're going to open the store right here. To do that, you're going to want to hold pressure toward the back of the machine, because this door is designed to come off completely for cleaning and repair, and it goes back on pretty easily too, but it's best to keep it on there if you can. Then you're going to pull this off, set it up here. Next, you're going to put your finger right here where it says push. You're going to open this side. All right, so we're ready to thread. And we're going to put 4 different colors of thread in here so that I can show you pretty easily which path is which. And this is for the upper looper, and it goes on the 3rd spindle. You're going to take the thread, and it's really important that the thread comes off in a clockwise motion. If you see it right here, it's coming off in a counterclockwise motion. So we're going to need to edit that part. Okay, so we're going to put the thread on the machine. I've chosen 4 different colors so that I can illustrate which path is which. And the purple path is the one you always start with. It's the 3rd from the left, purple, 3rd from the left right here is where your thread's going to go. You're going to take the thread in your tweezers, pull it up over the top of the telescoping pole. You're going to grab a hold of it kind of close to the edge here, run it through the purple hole, around to the right, and then over the top where it makes a loop that looks like that. Next, you're going to run it, put your finger here and kind of press, and it's going to go under that tab right there. Then you're going to pull it down through the tension path. I call it the tension path. I'm not sure what the what the book calls it, but the goal here is that you're going to want it to go all the way back to the back. So you can't just kind of lay it on there. You have to actually pull it through the path, and you're going to hear an audible click. And you can double check that by just making sure that it's underneath this silver part here. And once you get it through the tension path and it clicks, you are going to pull it to the right so that it goes into this slot here. And if your thread gets a little long, for you to be able to work with it, just trim it off. Next, you go down, and you've got a diagram right here that shows you the order. If you forget, if you get confused, if you just want to double check, here's your diagram right here. And we're doing the purple path right here, which is the upper looper. So it goes from here to here, then you pull it up so that it catches right here, and over the top here. And you always turn, when you're repositioning these parts, you're always turning it towards you. So the position that you want it to be right now is where the upper looper is the only thing that's visible. It's just easiest to get through to, and it makes you sure that your lower looper in just a moment is going to be on top. So I'm going to grab it by the end. You're going to grab it by the end, and you're going to thread this looper. Just run it through. Grab it with your needle nose tweezers. Pull it all the way to the back. So you see where it is right there? You've got, if this isn't already in the up position, you're going to go to the back and raise your foot. And then you're just going to pull it through to the side right here, out of the way, but where it's supposed to be. All right. Next, we are going to thread the lower looper. We're going to thread it blue so that you can clearly see what role it has in the chain stitch. Same as before, you're going to pull it up over the top of the telescoping pole and down into that part. You're going to do the same thing here. You're going to go through this green. We're working with the green path now. So you're going to go through the green hole, around to the right. Use your finger, press this underneath, You're going to pull tension through the path here. And you're going to go to the right so that it's tucked into this tab right here. And now we're just going to follow the screen path right here. You're going to go here. Then you're going to jog up. Oops, if it comes out, just go back. Jog up. You're going to go down right here. Okay, this part can get a little tricky, so we're going to go slow. You're going to take this just like you did for threading it earlier, and you're going to go through these springs. First this spring. You just want to go through the middle of the spring. And next you're going to go through the second spring. Straight through the middle. Oh, sorry. Did we go through? You're going to go through the first spring. And you are going to go through the middle of the second spring. All right, and it likes to come out. I'm going to go through the middle of the second spring. All right, you're going to go around here to the other side. You're going to take your tweezers, and you're going to pull the thread completely through to the side of the machine over here. Now we're going to be working over on this left side of your stitch play area. So you've got your string here. It's gone through spring 1 and spring 2, and you're going to hold it like this. And you see this little hammer right here? You're going to pull it through this little notch in the hammer so that it's going through the hammer. And now you're going to, I've got my hand wheel right here. You're going to turn it so that the hammer is inside the machine. And you're going to come back over on this side. You're going to grab that thread, and you want the thread to be coming out right here. It's possible for it to get caught on these different apparatuses, but if you can grab it right here, you see that it's coming through about right here, and you can pull it without it catching on anything. You know that you've got it great at this point. So I'm going to trim it a little long there while I was showing you. And now, this is probably the most important part of threading, believe it or not. You're going to reposition that wheel so that this lower looper is above, it's right on top of that upper looper, because that's where you want your thread to come out. You want it to be on top. And this is key right here. If you thread it too quickly or you're not paying attention, like I have done a million times, this doesn't work right. And see here, it's caught. So we're going to uncatch it because we've got enough slack where it's easy for it to catch. And you see how it's able to pull now? It's coming through really easily. It's on top of that. You've got the blue thread on top of the red thread, and that's just where we want it to be. So we are good. You might double check at this point, make sure that none of these have come out. Sometimes when you get a little, tension lost right there, it gets a little bubble and those come out of their spots, but everything is still right where it's supposed to be. So we're going to go on to number 3, and we're going to thread the